Here's what I knew. Oh my God.
Sorry.
Get it together, woman!
You feel that? That's the sound of the next joint discussions. Welcome back to our pod. I'm Lauren Wild. I'm one of the co-hosts of this podcast. My lovely other half, James Mummert. We're so excited to be here with you guys for episode 11.
Episode 11. 1-1.
Yeah, angel number.
You've got, ever since meeting you, I've gotten so much more into all these numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Our kids love to text in our group thread all of the different numbers that happen.
The angel numbers that I taught them.
Yes, and I've taught them the military numbers.
Well, we have a number.
18, 17, 17.
They are now on 1313. And for those of you guys that don't know, we just had our anniversary, and our anniversary is October 10th. So we are 1010, and we're real strong on that. So we just got kind of sort of matching tattoos. Mine that says 1010, like an angel number on my hand, and his are Roman numerals, each on his, like the back of his palms, I guess you would say. So like when it looks like he's doing a prayer, they're like right next to each other.
When it looks like I'm doing a
prayer. You're not.
There's no way I'm praying.
Sometimes I see you do it when you're really annoyed with the kids. You're like exasperated. You're like, you put your hands together and you're like,
oh, fucks, yeah. That's when I'm trying to channel some inner peace. Like,
I know. I see you do it a lot, actually.
Jamie, let's not cuss them out this time. Let's maybe just try to be patient. And then, well, sometimes it doesn't last. But these tattoos, we knew we wanted to get a tattoo when we went to the Berg.
Yep.
Pittsburgh. You and I kind of had some different ideas about what we wanted.
Oh, yeah, we did. But we did what we do, and that is we figured out a way to meet in the middle, and we each got the thing, but we did it the way we wanted to. And I feel like that's just such a great segue into a lot of our content tonight, too.
For sure. There was no way in hell I wanted some just numbers.
Not me. I wanted numbers, babe.
See, for me, some of it was like, oh my God, is that the mark of the beast? 666.
It's not, though. It's 1010.
I know, it's 10, but it's so. And I wanted Roman numerals, where you was like, hell no, I don't want Roman numerals.
Yeah, no.
And then we had this like thought of, or maybe it was the tattoo.
No, it was mine.
Okay, you had the thought of like, well, let's each get a 10 and each get an X.
Yeah.
And like, so I was like, what? 10X?
Well, we finally saw like
wait
what
a
it was going to
second.
look
That
like,
looks
and I
like
saw
algebra.
it visually, and I was like, nah, let's just do our own thing.
Right.
And I love mine so much.
I think
looks
it
so
fits
good
you
for
perfectly,
me.
and I think
yours
the one
fit
that I
you.
have fit me perfectly.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. I always love it when you're annoyed with the kids and you're just trying to like summon some sort of peace from somewhere, and you put your hands together and you like breathe in and you breathe out, and then you're like, okay, guys, let's try this again. You know, it's just really funny in that way.
It is funny sometimes. Sometimes it's not funny when they're here.
Yeah, I know. And I think that is part of what we are trying to kind of recap this week. So over the last 2 sessions, so it would be 9 and 10, we did some vulnerable shares of just sort of where we're at and just this check-in around how life is like merging and it's evolving and it's moving, and what might be some of the things that are coming up for us fear-wise as we merge and we let go of old ways of doing things to do things that we've decided together. We've had a couple of pretty heavy emotional weeks in the last, I would say 3 weeks particularly. We have shown up for each other in different ways, and I think that we're really learning how to show up for each other in the way that each other needs to be shown up for. But then I also feel like there is some, at the same time, like tendency, I can only speak for myself and then assume about you. So apologies. And future, or like just right now, just in case I get it wrong. But that is like when you get into a place, you tend to kind of draw inwards. You get a lot more contemplative. My anxious attachment kicks in, and then I get anxious and I get more clingy. Like I get more to where I do this thing, guys. I do this thing.
Tell them about it.
You know what? You tell them about it.
Actually, I don't know what thing you're talking about, so that's why I was low-key
when I'm
saying,
like,
tell me about it too.
When I get to where I'm like, I need attention, I want to feel close, I will literally pull up Jamie's shirt and put my whole head in his shirt and just be there.
People, she does this in public too sometimes. I accept it. I'm proud of my body. But
I love your body.
I know you do, because you shove your fucking head under my shirt. Get right up in there in my chest. And that's okay. There is a part of me that draws inward, but there's also a part of me that is very expressive outward.
Yeah.
So it's like hard to hide
Yeah.
that there's something fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tend to like let that cook inside.
Yeah. It's actually fine. It's my own shit that comes up, that then it's my fear of being abandoned that brings up like, oh my God, like what if he doesn't want to talk to me? What if something's wrong and I'm a problem and he's not going to tell me? It's like my own internal demons and voices that get brought up. What I do is I tend to need you more when you find, well, again, I'm projecting right here potentially, but that is like, you need a little bit of time to, as the kids would say, cook.
Yeah, I want to cook because I don't want to burn my words.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to do that if I speak right away. Sometimes I come with a heat that is way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I need a couple hours. Sometimes I need a couple minutes. Sometimes I need it overnight.
Yeah.
And I think we're starting to learn that about each other as this episode is really kind of based around how can you show up for your partner? Like, what does it look like to show up when your partner or relationship needs you?
Yeah. Yeah, because, in episode 10, we got into some pretty heavy stuff. And at the end, you were like, I'm going to need to process this. And so immediately my brain was like, should I give him space? Should I hug him and see if he wants to talk about it anymore? Those moments, you're kind of just like, you're already in it. So how do I show up for you in the way that you need me to show up? And me not just go seeking to soothe my anxieties, because me doing that is actually me making it about me.
And it's the same thing for me when it comes to you. How do I show up for you when you're venting? How do I show up for you when you're working through things of your own? We're both problem solvers. We both want to solve the problem, but sometimes Jamie just needs to shut the fuck up.
So does Loie.
Sometimes Jamie thinks he needs to shut the fuck up, but Loie actually wants him to say something. And so that makes it worse. It's just something that if you've been in a relationship for a really long time, maybe you and your partner have kind of worked that part out. But you and I, we're still relatively new into this. So we're learning those finer nuances of what it looks like to show up. But we do know without a shadow of a doubt, shout out to the shadow episode, but no shadow here, because there's no doubt that we will show up for each other.
Yes.
We're just learning how to, again, I think back to the archaeologists, like you have to be so fine in how you refine it.
Yeah.
Because there's this whole ecosystem of a relationship you've got going on, and you don't want to crack something that shouldn't be cracked.
Yeah. And then you throw in the mix of like having kids and you're just tired and you don't have the space to mentally process. You're just trying to survive. One person might need to just kind of like veg out and just like not think about it. And the other person may really need to think about it. And it's how you find the balance, and also really think about how to self-soothe yourself. And then where's the balance of asking to be witnessed or heard or to process? And that is, I think, the content that I know I would want to know how to show up for somebody if they're going through shadow work or any of those heavier life transitions.
That's kind of scary sometimes also to confront it, to figure out how can I best show up. A lot of times you're also, like you said, you're battling your own, making it about yourself when that's not what the point is of the showing up. But our inner demons, past selves, whatever, sometimes wants to creep into like, well, they just don't want my help right now. So whatever, blah, 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 blah. But you've just made it about yourself when, okay, they didn't show me outwardly something that I gave them, but that doesn't mean that they didn't appreciate it in the moment or you just needed to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think about that we say it all the time, like our ability to navigate so many heavy life experience things while being together for such a short amount of time is because we can talk through anything. We can communicate through anything, but it didn't start there. Being able to find ways to be able to speak your truth and show up, be heard and seen, and know that you're being heard and seen definitely took some time and some messy moments to crack into, though.
I don't think it could ever start that way, though, at least in our story. And probably anyone who dates post-divorce, you're two individuals coming in with things early on. Sometimes you got to figure out what you're going to give and, what you're going to reveal or what feels right.
Mm-hmm.
And so the relationship starts in its earliest form, which could be from the first time you meet, to this process of slowly dripping in more and more trust.
Yeah, I think that was hard for us in the beginning, though, because our relationship was steeped in the very beginning with divorce. So it had a lot of heavy upfront conversations and knowing that I knew I was not dating anybody for the long term that wasn't actually interested in a long-term committed relationship that had reciprocity in it. Like I was so like, I'm not fucking wasting my time. So are you in? Are you out? Like that was like really upfront with you in that regard.
3 days in, absolutely. We went all in 3 days in. So there's nothing there, but I'm saying even there, you're still like, okay, now we're doing this relationship thing. Let's go.
Yeah.
But we're not just we're starting a new relationship with these small building blocks, but we have these other giant fucking building blocks called our children.
Yeah.
And our past traumas and past everything that also we bring to the building table that the other person doesn't always get to see those blocks until a certain time. And so it takes time. We both knew early on. Again, I guess maybe I should say I knew early on, but it felt like you did too, because we dealt with a lot of divorce shit, but it was the other stuff that there was no questions on. Like, I knew you were a great mother. I knew you were a hard worker. I knew you were emotionally intelligent. For me, I'm the one that was going through the divorce, so I didn't have as much say anyways. Like,
yeah,
because you made it clear that you didn't plan to date anybody. And if you would have known how early in the process I actually was, that you wouldn't have. And again, we're so thankful. We just talked about our fucking hand tattoos. So, hey, people, we're doing good.
We work through the things.
We work through the things. And sometimes we have to remind ourselves that even post-recording, like, hey, we talked through some heavy things, but remember, everything together always. Like, we're going to do this together.
Yes. And it's a good way to circle back around to the mechanics of like, all right, well, how do you start this shit? Like there's got to be a starting point. And I think that one of the aspects when you know a person could be prone to anxiety or shutdown is in the way that you approach it and making the statement more about yourself, your own feelings and your noticings, and not like condemning a person to like, what's going on with you? Instead of being like, hey, so, over the last couple of days, I have felt like, so you're putting the onus on yourself. I have felt like maybe you've been a little bit more withdrawn lately. Is there something going on that I don't know about? Versus like, what's going on with you? Which assumes that there's something going on with them without asking them to like unveil it themselves and to invite them into a space that feels a lot safer.
And that was hard for me because the more taking the onus on yourself kind of thing was a little hard for me. Okay, you were trying not to laugh. Because
I remember how hard it was for you, and you've gotten so good at like stretching and strengthening that muscle. So good, at least with me and the kids. I see you do it with the kids all the time.
Yeah, it's an ongoing process.
Yeah,
roller coaster. Sometimes I'm cruising on up and doing really good. Other times I drop real fucking fast because you just never know what's going to happen. Other times I'm doing loop-de-loops and corkscrews and I just have no idea what the hell's going on. I really want to go to an amusement park.
I so want to go to an amusement park with you, babe. It's been
Cedar Point. We're coming for you next year.
Next year we're going to Cedar Point. But I think that I will bring it back to, I don't remember what episode we were on. It was one of the earlier ones where I said, I really think that the reason we were able to get through so much conflict is because of how fucking vulnerable you were able to be with me. Like, you were so clear about being like, I don't know, but I know I don't want to lose you. Like, tell me what to do. Like, I don't know, Instead of playing like you know everything, it softened this thing where it made you vulnerable. It made you be able to stand in your truth of like, I may not know all the methods that you know, but I know that I want to keep you and I want to learn. So help me,
Here's what I do know is that if I repeated myself and my actions and what I thought I knew about relationships, then I would have just fucking failed again. Mm-hmm. And so asking the question and having the vulnerability of like, just fucking help me. Like, help me. And after a while, you had to get me off of that because of asking you so much for that because you're like, I don't want to fucking babysit this. Like,
be your life coach.
Yeah, be your life coach, be a babysitter. Like, I wanted, and I took that to heart for sure. But wrapping it back was like, I knew that I needed to learn how to show up in ways differently than what I thought prior, because obviously it didn't work.
Yeah. Do you feel like, this isn't a loaded question, but that is, do you feel like you are able to go to a different level of being seen and heard in intimacy? Like, not just sexual intimacy, but like being present and being seen and known in such a deep way. I had never been seen and known by a man as deeply as you. Like, you absolutely had the capacity for it. And I personally feel like that capacity was always there. You just didn't have the muscle because you didn't have anyone to practice with.
Yeah, I do think that it was always there. I think I would put it, equate it to something like our brains. We only have access to so much percent, right?
5 to 10.
Exactly. I had only access to about 5 to 10% of what it looked like to do that. Because just various factors. I knew it was potential. I knew it was there, but then so many other things would get in the way. And so now I have so much more unlocked and I'm still learning. Like, that's the thing is like, I would never even try to claim that I am at 100%, but I have so much more availability and so much more knowledge than I did about what it looks like to show up and to show up in different ways, because sometimes you need me physically, sometimes you need me emotionally, sometimes you need me in a hybrid kind of a way. Like, you can want to show up with the best intent, but your delivery can sometimes fuck up your intent.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, that's where being able to have the space to be vulnerable and experiment with your partner is important, because you're not going to know until you kind of experiment and see what lands, especially if your partner has never really gone to the depths of what you're asking them to meet you in that before. They don't have any reference, and it could feel really scary to be that seen and that transparent.
It would be very unfair to expect that they would do it right away and to not have grace. And I recall frequently asking you for some grace. Like, listen, I understand that this or this needs, but I need some grace. It wasn't my intent to whatever happened.
Yeah. So a mixture, I'm just kind of like analyzing as we're moving along. It's like a mixture of vulnerability and willingness, for sure. Those feel important to the mixture of being able to show up for somebody.
I think vulnerability and willingness, yes, but then the other thing that we've touched on a little bit is like looking in the mirror, because it takes some self-reflection to know how to show up for your partner without making it about you.
Yeah.
It takes you understanding what you're bringing in terms of traumas or triggers and looking at it and saying, okay, this is a very triggering thing that could happen or be brought up like during their own time of need, where it triggers me and like that I'm used to like needing some attention for that. But right now, even though it's triggering me, I still got to show up. I'm actually kind of experiencing that in some ways when it comes to some things medically. I have a lot of traumas about medical spaces and just places and events.
Spending time in a
in that
hospital
world.
or anything like that.
Yeah, when you spend 550 days in a row in a hospital,
Yeah.
and during that time, your child almost dies 3 times. And
Yeah.
see, I'm already being triggered. Here we go. But in a way, as I'm working through that trigger, we're good. I'm now needing to do that in order to show up for one of our family members. It's what I needed to work through immediately in March of this current year when you had a medical episode. It wasn't like an episode, it was like a medical miniseries that's still making episodes as we speak.
It's a documentary.
I had to figure out, okay, past me probably would have made a different choice than what I made this year. It was so easy for me to choose to show up for you in the hospital because I knew that you were special and I knew that I wanted a future with you. It's going to be so easy for me to show up now for our children when they need medical things because I've looked in and I've done a lot of reflection and a lot of work on understanding the big picture of life, really.
Yeah.
If you're listening and you're like, I don't know how I can show up for my partner, like whatever I'm doing is not working. What can I do? Like, what would be like 3 questions you would tell or give somebody maybe to help lead the conversation of how can I show up for you, for your partner?
Well, you should do that exercise because I want to hear yours.
Well, you got to answer first because I asked the question. That's the rules.
Okay. All right. So what are 3 things that I need to be met?
I was asking more so what would be like 3 questions
That you would ask your partner.
that you could ask your partner if you were having trouble or not understanding how to show up for them.
Got it. No, I love it because I love seeing everybody else's, ways in as well. But I think the first thing is to disarm their defense mechanism by stating your feeling and not projecting your feeling as like a fact on that person, because then it makes them feel even more judged or whatever. So I think the very first one is what I would start with in what I shared in the beginning. And that is like, hey, I've noticed feeling maybe that you've gone a little inward over the last couple of days. Is there something going on that I don't know about? Would be that first one. The second one would be something closer to, I don't know if I'm just triggered, but are you mad at me right now? Did I do something that I don't know of? I find myself doing that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's my inner child that tells me that if I don't do something right, then I'm going to get silence treatment. And then I think my last one would be something closer to, is there something that you wish that you could talk to me about that you want to talk about at this time?
Almost like when a parent gives you like, this is your immunity
Yeah.
time. You can talk about or tell me anything. You get immunity from punishment.
Yeah.
Did your parents ever do that? Probably not.
No. But I
That's-
can imagine.
That's what my parents did.
Like Christian immunity.
Well, it was like, hey, if there's any, it was almost kind of like they were trying to coax something out of you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Get the guilt trip. But also, if you actually got real immunity, then it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of like, I'm not going to get punished for it. That's how I told him that I stole cigarettes and smoked. Immunity time, bitches. They would take you into the room and they'd be like, okay, something's going on. But maybe there's nothing going on, but I'm going to give you 2 minutes of immunity. So anything that you say or admit to in these 2 minutes.
It's like a confessional.
I guess it is. But it was like, I have 2 minutes to kind of say what I need to say. Or after that, they probably already still knew and I was going to get my ass beat by a paddle or something.
My gosh.
So, yeah, I don't know where we kind of got off track here, but immunity talk.
Yeah, it's like, you know, if you could tell me anything that has just been kind of percolating that you aren't really talking about, what would that be? Or another question would be like, if I could take something that hurts away from you, what would that thing be? What about you, babe?
I thought I said I didn't have to do this part.
Oh. No, I want to know.
Well, then ask me
Give
the
me
question that I
one.
asked you.
Which is, okay, what would be somewhere between 1 to 3 questions that you would, you know, want to ask your partner to help you learn how to show up for you in healthy ways?
Yikes.
You came up with a question.
I know. So I didn't think I was going to have to come up with answers.
I love you,
I
babe.
guess that's what joint discussions are all about. Sometimes you got to be willing to answer on
On the fly.
the same thing that you asked. So what is something that I would tell you to ask me?
No. What is a question that you would ask to help your partner open up when you're trying to be there for them? You do it all the time with me.
Okay, then just say it, please. For
You
the
are
sake of...
you are big on like, hey babe, is there something going on that I don't know about? Is there something that you're worried about or stressed about? You just seem like maybe you're not yourself right now.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes I'll say, you're kind of giving off vibe that something's going on.
Yeah.
You and I both share some similar traits also when it comes to the vibes that we give.
We give
We're
auras.
both not very good at hiding vibes that are off. That part's really easy to kind of see from the other person. Sometimes I hate that
Yeah,
so much.
I know, but we're both big feelers. So,
Right. Sometimes I wish that I didn't carry resting bitch face. Like I carry that every day.
You really do. You serve some serious resting bitch face, but personally, I kind of love it.
Yeah, I think what was there like a reel or something about resting bitch mustache face or something?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm trying to remember what they called it, but I definitely have that. Oh, it was the disc golfer.
Yeah. That's right.
Shout out Andrew Fish. But yeah, I do have resting bitch face. I wish I was able to like be more even keeled and just like not show that. But that's what unfortunately or fortunately, maybe, because it's easy for us both to know when we need to have a talk or something.
Definitely. Definitely. But I think that the goal is figuring out how do you show up for people that you care about when they're going through difficult times that isn't just self-serving, but is actually showing up for people. And how do you take care of yourself when you're also worried about something because your partner is in a state that you don't understand quite yet? For me, it is always this kind of dance around knowing that you are a person that actually needs isolation and downtime. Honestly, so do I. But we now work in the same house. Granted, we don't get to see each other that often because I'm fucking in the office all the time. But how do you ever get space? How do you ever like get the way that you need? Because I am like a person that needs time to cook and like think about it when it comes to everybody else in my world that isn't my person. My person, which is obviously you, is like, I need to process it with you pretty much immediately. Like, I feel like I'm like, I need to talk to you about this. I really want to know your opinion. I want to be in this with you. I only have one. There's only one that fits that spot. And everything else, everyone else, gets like my post-cooked thoughts.
But sometimes I have to get to post-cooked.
You mean for me?
Yeah, for something that you want to process right away.
Yeah.
Even recent events with one of our kids, like you want to process it kind of right away. And I'm like, I need more information.
Yeah.
I need more time. And so that might be a point of tension or frustration of like, oh, well, I want.
Yeah.
That's where we work through it.
And I put my head in your shirt and everything was fine.
Exactly. So if you're out there and you're listening and you just don't know what the answer is to life, just put your head up your partner's shirt. No matter where you are, no matter what occasion it is, just lift up the shirt, shove your head up there.
Oh, man.
And stay under there for as long as you need or until your partner says, get the fuck out of my shirt. Because I've done that before.
I think only once. You're really patient with me with shit like that. You really are. And I love you so much for it because I do some crazy, weird shit because I feel so comfortable around you. You bring out the inner child in me sometimes. And that's just so lovely because I've not seen her around a man in a long time.
Well, that's what the mark of a great partnership is, great relationship is. So you are welcome.
Yeah. I think that the big piece that I take away in larger terms, what some might call the divine feminine, being able to access our inner femininity, of being able to hold space and being able to attune to people's needs and be compassionate and patient, showing up with vulnerability, all of that falls under that divine feminine nurturing essence. Whereas, the masculine is more so in protection and creating safety and containers, where I feel like so much of what makes you different is your ability to be connected to your divine feminine side and also be able to hold your sacred masculine side. And it's what makes you a balanced person, in my opinion.
And your opinion means a lot to me. So I think at this point, it's probably a good time for us to wrap up.
Sure.
Showing up for your partner might not always give you the clarity that you want or need, but sometimes showing up is just being present.
Yeah.
Sometimes being present in the moment, present in the future, and patient in the present
Mm-hmm.
is all you really need. So if you're struggling with that, start with that. Show up, be patient, and work from there. This has been a joint discussion, episode 11.
Yeah, I think just for closing thoughts, it makes me think of one of my teachers when I was in one of my first yoga teacher trainings. And she said to me, Lauren, we do yoga every single day, and relationships are yoga. Sometimes you're going to bend towards one person, and your next day they're going to bend towards you. Relationship is a very, very powerful irritant to doing a lot of personal work, is what gets brought up when you're asked to be vulnerable and show up for people and be able to take care of yourself so you can show up for your partner and vice versa. So just remember out there that relationships are that irritant, that solvent that would be in the clamshell that would eventually turn into a pearl with grit, that kind of resilience to keep facing the hard thing. But nothing will force us to face ourselves like intimate relationship. So we hope so much that this episode was clarifying and helpful for you and your relationships in your life. Make sure that you check us out on all the socials at Joint Discussions Pod. Also, we have a Patreon community, and we would love to have you there. It is also found under Joint Discussions Pod. Thank you so much for being here with us, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Later, Gators.